Hey girls. So today I wanted to jump in because we've had a lot more new amazing girls join this tribe and I'm super excited about that, girls. I'm so happy you are in here. So what that prompted me to do was I was like, right, okay, it's been a while since I shared like my journey, my story as to how I created this business, created this life for me. And I realized that's quite an important part to share. Hey, Arisha, especially for those of you who are new to joining the group, because I realized that right now, if you are only just finding this group, if you are only just coming across like my videos, my content, this tribe, and all of this amazing stuff, then you're gonna be seeing me right now living my dream life in LA, like building it up one step at a time. Hey, Ashton, but you might not be familiar with my story as to how I got here, basically. And I really wanted to make this clear and get this story across. So for those of you who are new to the group or just not familiar with my backstory, or maybe you are like a little bit familiar of me, but you don't know the full story as to how I made all of this happen. Oh, thank you, Ashton, gorge. Then I'm gonna share this story here with you now. Please excuse like all of my post-it notes and everything. Do you know, I had the best Saturday night ever yesterday and got super duper organized and productive. And like, how good does it feel to feel like you've just got all of your shit together and you know exactly what's what and you know exactly what's going on in your life? It feels so good. So girls, if you are, maybe you are familiar with my story, maybe you want to hear it again. That's completely up to you if you want to choose to keep watching or catch up on the replay. If you are catching up on the replay, do let me know, do say hey. Okay, so girls, basically, where do I begin with this story? Okay, so right now, I am currently in Hollywood. So if I step out of this apartment, girls, like the Hollywood Walk of Fame is like right there. I love the location that I'm in right now because it's really, really central. I've joined an amazing yoga studio community really close by. I've got amazing friends around me. And I'm in this wonderful apartment all to myself, where I get to continue to build on my message, grow this tribe, and really get focused on this coaching business that I've created, right? So if you are new to the group, then you've probably seen my posts. Hey Laura, thank you for joining. But let me just explain. If I backtrack just under 2 years ago, girls, this life that you see me living right now was a far cry from what my actual experience of life was like. So without going like too much into it, let's just say that like a lot has changed for me. Some of the main crucial moments in my life was that, 2 years ago, I found myself aged 29, I must have been, because I'm 31 now. I found myself aged 29, really taking a good look at the life that I was living at the time and not really feeling fulfilled with some of the choices and some of the decisions that I had made that had brought me to that point. I always desired to be, do, and have so much more than the life that I was currently living 2 years ago. But the truth of the matter was I had allowed fear to keep me stuck in situations and circumstances for far too long, right? So here I am, nearly approaching age 30, having a meltdown because the urgency of age approaching definitely creates a sense of urgency for us to take action, right? And hey Jane, thanks for joining. So here I am about to turn 30 and I'm like, okay, sir, like you had massive dreams, massive ambitions and massive goals for yourself. And the truth is like, you've not actually achieved any of the stuff that you want to achieve. You need to take like a serious look at like what's going on in your life, right? And at the time, girls, like it's really important that you understand that I was living a life that looked really good and really fulfilling and really amazing on the outside. except the truth of the matter was I wasn't living my own dream. I was living somebody else's dream that I had got swept up in. And so as a result of that, like, I was unhappy with the life that I was living. So to put things into perspective, 2 years ago, I was living in Barcelona in a lovely apartment in the sun and by the sea and blah, blah, blah. And it was all so amazing. And I had always desired to live like abroad, or at least travel and see the world a bit more. So I really believed that that was going to be like the answer to like me finding fulfillment and me being happy. But it just didn't feel like home. Like, I wasn't happy there. I was constantly flying home because I just felt like I didn't connect there. Now, the reason I was there was because I was in a long-term relationship and we both relocated there. So none of the decisions that I was making at the time were decisions that I was making for myself, and putting my own happiness first. I was always making decisions as a joint based on the relationship that I was in. And yeah, like, basically what I actually did was I put all of my dreams, all of my desires on the back burner and completely supported like my partner's dream. Now, that's not his fault. Like, well, it's my ex-partner now, but that's not his fault. This has got nothing to do with him whatsoever. These are my choices that I made. And then what happened was I found myself, yeah, like, approaching 30, not living the life that I wanted to live, feeling really unhappy, really unfulfilled, and thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do something if I need to change my life, right? So that kind of prompted me, the urgency, the sense of urgency of age 30 approaching, kind of prompted me to start searching for answers. Hey Danielle, thanks for joining. And I turned, girls, to spirituality, right? As most of you will all probably relate here in the group. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you found yourself do. You know, you find yourself so in the depths of despair, feeling so lonely, feeling so stuck, feeling like you've got nowhere else to turn, right? And in comes spirituality to save the day. And that's essentially what happened with me, right? So I started to really read, like, you know, spiritual books, self-development, and really started to get into all of that stuff. And what I found was that I started to feel better in every single day. Now, bear in mind, I'm still living in Spain at this point. I'm still not brave enough to take the leap and go home, which I knew that I needed to do, because I knew that that life that I was living in Spain was no longer for me. So I'm building myself up, right? Like, one step at a time. And I started with just basic spirituality and mindset principles of like taking care of me, like being mindful of my thoughts, being fully present, tracking my emotions, like keeping a journal, meditating, working out, trying to eat better. Like, I started to really take care of me, right? And then what happened was, one day I literally just woke up and I finally felt strong enough to pick myself up, walk away from absolutely everything of a life that I had created up until that point. So this was an 11-year relationship I was in, girls. So we had like everything together, including friends, family, like a place to live, like everything was really intertwined. But I had just reached this point where I was like, this is not my life. This is not my truth. If I'm being completely truthful and honest with myself, I desire to be in America. And the longer I put this off, like, my soul is literally calling me to do something big, and my soul is literally calling me to be in LA. And I couldn't make any sense of it. The longer I put this off, the more unhappy I'm going to be. And this one day came where I woke up and I thought, no, enough is enough. I am making the decision. Hey, Victoria. Hey, Zoe. I am making the decision right now, today, to pick myself up, as hard as it was, pack my things up, leave, go home, and commit from that moment forwards to living a life for me. You know, really enhancing that relationship with my intuition, following my gut, following what I believe to be my soul purpose, which is, you know, the creation of all of this, which is, I thought, okay, if I can if I can be brave enough to take this leap, if I can be brave enough to walk away from everything that is considered a life that is set up and ready to live, if I can be brave enough to walk away, go home, start my life over, and actually commit to following my dream, then I know for sure that my sole purpose, which I believe is to inspire and empower and teach others how to do the same, then that's going to happen for me, because if I do it, I can teach other people how to do it as well, right? So this was the basis for where this business come from. It came from my desire and my passion to be brave enough to follow my own dream, but then also like have the passion to inspire and empower you girls to follow your dream as well, because I know just how lonely, just how unfulfilling, just how bad it can feel to just feel like really, really low and like you're not really doing that which you know that you're here to do, right? And yeah, like spirituality massively helped me turn my fear into faith. And this is why in all of the coaching that I do, all of the coaching that I offer, I am huge on connecting you to your higher power, helping you rise up. This starts with you. This journey starts with you. And I know that because I've already walked that journey. And I know that there is no way in a million years I could have gone headfirst into living this life, living this business, without connecting to spirituality first, connecting to my higher power, connecting to the universe, like something much bigger than me, which is what gives me the drive, the energy, the support, the courage, the confidence, everything to keep pushing forward, even in the midst of chaos, right? And that's why it's super important that you find this connection as well, especially breaking out into entrepreneurship, because there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of challenges. And if you've got faith on your side and you've got spirituality and you've got something to lean on, then fears are going to seem a lot less scary, girls, because you can always recenter yourself and remind yourself that there's something much bigger going on than you. So I picked myself up and I moved back home. And I talked to the universe like quite a lot. And in that moment, I actually said to the universe or to whatever, you know, like I surrender, like I give up. I don't know like what I'm supposed to be doing or where this path's going to take me, but I trust wholeheartedly that everything's going to work out for my highest good, because my intentions are pure. I want to help people, but first I understand that I need to help myself, right? So I got home, I'd walked away from everything in my life that I had created so far. So I literally landed home at ground zero, girls. No job, no savings, no money, no nothing. Like I had absolutely nothing to show for the 29 years of my life on this planet. I had reached my version of rock bottom, and it was one of the toughest situations of my life. Yet, like I said before, the spirituality, the faith, my connection to something going on that was much bigger than me and out of my control was what gave me the strength to get up every single day and keep doing what I was doing, right? And of course, like my passion at that point was like on fire. Like I felt so empowered from making that decision to up my life and just go back home and start to take care of me. I just couldn't wait to start inspiring and empowering other girls too, to be like, you know what, if you're not happy with the situation, you can change it, and this is how, and I'm going to teach you how, right? So that's what I started doing, girls. Hey Nadia, thanks for joining. I started to just do like Facebook Lives like this, and at the beginning of all of this, like, yes, I knew it was going to grow into a business, but in the very beginning, you have to understand that like I was completely heartbroken. I was going through a lot personally. So your emotional scale, by the way, is directly linked to like your financial scale, right? Like there is no way in this world that I was ready to start coaching people for like the first 8 or 9 months of starting this business. But what I was ready to do was just to share that feeling of empowerment with people. I wanted to just be, because I was feeling so low, my intention was, okay, if I can just be the light in somebody else's like darkness right now, then I know that light is going to reflect right back on me. And slowly but surely, I am gonna, find my tribe, hence why this is called Soul Savvy Tribe, because I knew I needed to connect with people who were on the same vibration as me and who understood everything that I was going through. And so I knew that little by little, as long as I just focused day by day on feeling good in each day, not saying feeling absolutely on top of the world, because I was going through a lot, but if I could just get myself through the day and light up someone else's day, then I was good. Like, I was happy with that, right? So this is how this started. I started to do Facebook Lives. I started to set the intention of sharing everything that I was learning in my self-development books that I was reading, on the self-love journey that I was on for myself. And I started to share this openly on videos, and things started to build momentum. And then before I knew it, I obviously had like people reaching out to me in my inbox and like, you're so inspiring and blah, blah, blah. And that, girls, is what really gave me the strength, the courage, like the determination to keep going, because I started to see results, right? And you have to understand that in the first like year of me starting this business, there were some days where like I was going through a lot, and I literally was like crying myself to sleep, because I was so like, had so much going on a personal level. But to see that I was impacting somebody in a positive way, and that they were then sending me messages telling me how my message, me reaching for my dream, had massively inspired and impacted them, that meant everything to me. And it gave me the strength, the confidence, the courage, everything that I just mentioned, to keep pushing forward, right? So for any of you who feel like now's not the right time to start this business, or now's not the right time to follow my dream, I'm going to wait until the time gets better, blah, blah, blah. That's a load of rubbish, right? Because I literally definitely started this at like rock bottom, at one of the worst perceived times, one of the worst experiences that I was personally going through. But what I did was I used rock bottom and the time that I was going through, I used that as my foundation, as my building block for this vision that I had. And honestly, like, it was having this business, being connected to this higher power, being connected to sharing this message, feeling like I had something to give, what pulled me through the worst time ever. So my message right there is like, there's never going to be a perfect time to start. I definitely didn't start at the most perfect time. But hey, like, it literally gave me something to live for, something to build on. And that fire in me started to burn brighter and brighter and brighter every single day, until eventually, I felt strong enough to really go for this and make the switch from, okay, yeah, I'm inspiring people, I'm empowering them, I'm helping them, but I really want to start to transform lives now, because I've transformed my own, and I can share this with somebody as well. So what I did, girls, as I was sort of like just going through the heartbreak and going through all the terrible time, and that year of like not really knowing what was going on, but just focusing on inspiring people, in that time, what I actually did, even though I have a degree, even though I am a qualified building surveyor, and everybody probably thought I was crazy for the choice that I made, I chose not to go back to a building surveying role, which the reason I made that choice was because I chose to get a casual waitressing job for 2 reasons, right? One, I didn't want to be stuck behind a desk. I know how that felt as well, and it didn't suit me. It didn't suit who I am, like, as a person, like, to be stuck behind a computer whilst you're going through a lot of shit. would have only kept my vibration like really, really, really low. So I wanted to put myself in a position where I was around people. I had less time to, you know, sit and look at the phone or like feel sorry for myself and all of that stuff. So I chose to get a job as a waitress, because also it gave me more flexibility with time. And I figured, right, I'm willing to take the massive pay cut from you know, my actual career to just getting a part-time waitressing job, because what this enables me to do is to have time on my side to really run with this business idea. And I didn't want to find myself getting comfortable in a career job and just settling because it was comfy and I was getting paid a wage and I knew where I was at and I was getting holiday pay and all of this comfortable stuff, right? I didn't want that. So I was like, no, I know what I want to do. Like, the goal here is to get to LA. This was the goal from 2 years ago. It's actually been my goal like since I was probably about 15. But like I say, I spent a lot of years living in fear. But the minute that I decided to commit to this vision, it was like, right, no, game on. You are getting yourself to America. You're going to do whatever it takes to answer this calling. Like, girls, you have to understand this vision for me is out of my control, right? I truly believe that, like, this is my soul calling and I'm just following it freely, right? I feel like, yes, I take my massive action. But I also believe that this dream and this vision is way beyond, like, my control as well. I truly believe I am just serving, you know, from a higher power, and I'm happy to take the massive leaps now, to be guided to wherever I need to go, right, by the universe. And this is why I always talk about connecting with your higher power, because I want you to experience this for yourself as well, because we spend too much time, girls, overthinking things. And I know that used to be me, and it doesn't have to be that way, right? Now, if I have a decision to make, of course, like, I'm quite logical about things as well, but sometimes, like, rather than overthinking things, like, I've got this relationship with myself now, with my higher power, with my intuition, and I know instantly if something is the right move or the wrong move for me, and I'm able to get myself into a place of surrender. So I'm not resisting growth, I'm not resisting opportunities to move forward, right? And this is why I talk a lot about, like, you developing that spiritual connection for yourself as well, because it's super important. Like, I can't imagine, I would never have taken the leaps and the risks and faced the challenges that I have faced to get me to this point without having that connection to spirituality and a higher power, and fully believing that I am always supported and guided, and therefore things are always working out for my highest good. So back to the story, I was a waitress, and yeah, what that enabled me to do was have a lot more time to, you know, yeah, I wasn't earning nowhere near as much as I could in my career job, but it meant that I had the time to really grow on this passion and this idea, right? So as you can imagine, working as a waitress, only part-time, I think I was doing maybe 28 hours a week, not a lot at all. I was not really receiving much of an income. Like I've already said, I had no savings. I had nothing to show for my 29 years on this planet. I was just literally back at home, back in my parents' house, in my childhood bedroom, with a vision and a dream and a determination to turn my life around, but to turn it around quickly. I didn't want to stay in that place for long. So I knew that the quickest way to get from where I was to get to where I wanted to be, which was in America, running a successful coaching business, was to align myself with somebody who was already living that dream and have them teach me how to do that, right? So the first coach that I connected with was a coach who I found online, and she was really spiritual and spoke my language. She was living my idea of this dream life. She had this amazing life in San Diego, down by the ocean. She had a little dog. She had an amazing husband. And like, I just looked at her life and was like, oh my gosh, like she's got everything that I want, right? And her one-to-one coaching was fully booked up. But as it happened, girls, at that moment, like there's no way, that I could have afforded that based on where I was. However, she then created like a group program, and this was my opportunity to align myself with her, work with her, but for a smaller investment, which was perfect for what I needed in that moment. And so I jumped at the opportunity as soon as the cart opened for her group program. I was probably one of the first ones, like, right in, like, no, this is it. Like, I literally took everything that I had at that moment and put everything into this group program. Again, leaving myself with like no money for, like, I took major sacrifices, girls, you know, with like doing things with friends, buying new clothes, like having a social life, and all of these things are important. But what was more important to me was getting myself out of the situation that I was in and getting myself to where I wanted to be ASAP. So I was willing to take all of these sacrifices to align myself with these people, right? So that was the first coach that I had, and I was a part of that group program for 6 months, and that really, really helped me start to understand the foundations of a successful coaching business, staying true to my passion, staying true to my purpose, and showing up as like my authentic self online, and really starting to create the energy going. And it helped me massively in terms of confidence and so on. What I wasn't able to do or gain from that program, and it's purely because of where I was at on my journey at the time, was the real like life-changing transformational confidence to really start putting myself out there in terms of knowing my worth and believing that I was worthy of the products that I was offering, and believing that I was like ready to start doing this, right? That all came to me once I invested in my first high-level coach, right? So after the group program, this started to turn into a business, but still not a business that was able to completely change my life, right? I was still working part-time and I was starting to earn money as a coach, but I still wasn't able to free myself from work and make it a reality to get myself to LA and start truly living out all of my desires, right? So the biggest massive shift happened for me when I invested in my first high-level coach. And again, it's important that you know that I didn't necessarily have the investment to pay my coach in full. I only had, this is where I understand, like, not everybody would take this option like me, but you have to understand that when your burning desire is so strong and your passion is so strong and you're committed to a decision that you've made for yourself, you are going to do anything to make your dream happen. You are gonna find a way, like by any means necessary, to jump at an opportunity. And this is the mindset, girls, that you need to be in, is to not only see an opportunity as it arises, but be ready to pounce on that opportunity and grab it with both hands. And I feel like that was the mindset that I was in that's allowed me to grow this in the way that I have and get myself here ASAP, because if I see an opportunity, I'm just going to grab it with both hands, right? Not overthink it, not go too deep into myself. I trust my gut. Again, I go back to the spiritual powers that I practice every single day, and I know if something is right for me. I trust vibes, I trust energy, I trust intuition, and I follow that, and I follow the guidance that I get, right? So yeah, then in comes my high-level coach, who I now have, and I couldn't actually afford to work with her or pay her in full for the investment that she was asking for, but I could afford to do a payment plan with her. It just meant that I would have absolutely not a penny left in the bank each month by the time I had given her everything that I had, right? But I had reached this point of no return where I was like, no, like, I really want to elevate myself, elevate this message. And again, like, I need to be able to free myself from this situation to be able to show others how I did it as well. So I put down a deposit with my coach. And then I went and did something really, really, really high risk. and really crazy. But for me, it wasn't high risk, and for me, it wasn't crazy because, again, I got the signs from the universe, and I trusted my gut, and I trusted my intuition, and I knew this was the right next move for me. So I invested in this high-level coach. I still had a part-time job. I gave every single penny that I had as a deposit to my high-level coach. I had nothing left in the bank. And then I said to the universe, like, okay, I'm ready to do this coaching business. This was only 6 months ago, by the way. I'm ready to do this now, like, full time. I want to be in America by July. So I wonder when that was that I did this. I think it was coming up to April that this was. I'm ready to do this full time. I'm ready to run with this. I finally feel like emotionally strong enough. I've gone through all of the shit. I've sorted a lot of personal stuff out in my life. I've identified my self-sabotaging patterns. I've gone through all the mindset stuff. And here I am. I've arrived in a place where I've found the perfect coach for me to help me really grow this now. I'm ready to transform my life. I proved that by investing into this coach. And yeah, I'm ready to do this full time. So universe, if this is the right thing for me to do, I need a sign. And if I get the sign from you, then I'm going to hand the notice in at the job that I'm in, because I knew I had to give like 2 weeks notice. And I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to give myself 1 month to see if this is going to work out. And I knew that it would, right? Because when we put ourselves in like a sink or swim situation, we are going to swim every time, right? So wouldn't you know it, girls, my sign is a red rose, for those of you who are new to the group. Those of you who have been in the group will already know that this is my sign. And I asked for a sign in the form of a red rose. Now that day I got 2 text messages, one from a friend in Canada, and it had a red rose emoji on the end of it, and another one from one of my clients who just had a logo designed, and her logo was of a woman silhouette, and she had a red rose for a heart in the middle of her logo, right? So those 2 signs came through, and I'm like, right, okay, this is crazy, this is petrifying, this is really high risk, but I'm going to have my notice in at work, and I have no idea how I'm going to make next month's payment for my coach, or how I'm even going to live, or how I'm even going to make all of this happen. But I've received the sign. I fully trust that I am going to be okay. The clients are going to come. I'm going to rise up to this, and I'm going to be able to transform my life, right? And basically, in a nutshell, girls, that is where my journey went from. And of course, now you see me here in LA, I was more than okay. What happened was, if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, there's a section in there at the beginning that says, in order to truly succeed, you must burn all ships behind you, right? So burn any cord of safety, so there is no way back for you. The only way that you can go is forwards. And so by me handing in my notice in my job that I was in, that was my way of burning my ships and being like, right, okay, there is no safety now. You have to make it as a coach. You have to transform your life to the next level. There is no going back now, Sarah. You are not going back to a safe job where we're also scared to leave. This is you, this is your life, and you are ready to, step it up a notch and get yourself to LA and really start to inspire, empower, and share your whole journey with a whole lot more people. And this is it, like, you're ready to go to the next level. So I quit the job, and the rest is history. I have just gone on and on and on to continue to build this tribe and to continue to build this business, and to eventually get it to a point where obviously I am earning enough of an income to position myself over here in LA, which is a place that I always desired to be, but also it's a great opportunity for me to be able to align myself with some of the greatest leaders in this kind of industry, and really learn a lot more about myself, and learn a lot more about this industry, and teach it to you girls here in the tribe. So my journey, girls, has actually been full of high risks, and something that I've learned about myself along the way is that I am, I guess, a high risk entrepreneur. Now, not everybody likes to do things high risk. And I know I speak to, you know, quite a few of you who want to see the exact roadmap laid out before you're willing to take any action. And what I would say, if you do feel like you are one of these people who needs to see like every single step before you're going to take action, right? I would say, you know, don't focus on the whole staircase. Just focus on one step at a time, one opportunity at a time, one day at a time, doing the best that you can, right? And everything else will take care of itself. Don't overwhelm yourself with like the big, massive goal, which can be overwhelming and can be scary. I know there was times I was thinking to myself, gosh, you've got to be a little bit deluded because you've just quit your job. You've just invested every single penny that you've got into a high-level coach. You've already booked your flight to LA. You've already told everyone that you're going and you're going to stay there. And at that time, girls, I had nothing in the form of like, nothing reality-wise to say that this was going to happen. But what I did have was my burning desire. I had my faith, and I knew that I was going to succeed because I knew I wasn't going to allow myself to fail, and I was going to push on and push on and push on. And my mindset was like, any challenge that comes my way, I'm going to smash through it because I am more committed to my dream than I am to my fears, right? And so just to put things into perspective, girls, for those of you who are maybe new to the group, in total, so far, I've invested £15,000 into my own coaching, learning from other leaders, learning from other mentors and coaches, programs, courses, all of this kind of stuff. But it's enabled me to completely transform my life in a short space of time. And I put a post on Instagram about this as well, which was that we have a choice, right? We can either invest time or money into something. Now, time is something that I had already wasted a lot of. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I was approaching 30. I'd not really achieved anything for myself that I desired to achieve, right? So I didn't want to waste any more time. So I was willing to bet all of my money on myself and put it all into this vision, because time was just something that like I didn't want to waste any more time off. Like, the clock was ticking. I'm like, you want to live your dream, you want to get to LA, you better be quick because time's ticking. And I'm not saying that like I'm getting really, really old, but I'm like, you know, whilst I had like the freedom of choice to do so, whilst I had the passion, whilst I had the momentum, whilst I had the energy, I'm like, I'm going to run with this. And I'm going to find a way to make this life happen by any means necessary, right? So I just want to highlight to you, you know, the importance of that. Don't be afraid to align yourself with somebody who can teach you everything that you need to know, that is going to save you a lot of time. Yes, it might cost you in the form of a financial investment, but it's going to save you time, especially when this person, for example, me right now, because I am such a high risk like entrepreneur, I have learned so many lessons in the past 2 years, and I've learned them so fast because I am not afraid to just throw myself at something and fail and get back up and throw myself again and fail and get back up. So when you have access to somebody's real life experience like that, and you get to pay for that to save time, it's the best investment you'll ever make in your life, girls. So it's been 38 minutes and I'm still sharing my story, but I kind of just wanted to really highlight, girls, that like this for me was like started from zero, and I really do hope actually that this video has got that across to you girls, because I don't want anybody to watch my videos and think differently and think like, oh, but it's okay for her to do it because she probably didn't face the struggles that I'm facing. And that's true, you know, we all face different challenges, but I just also like need you to know and understand that like I faced my own struggles that were personal to me. The difference is that I just didn't allow them to stop me. I was going to continue and persist on anyway. And that is definitely the mindset that I still live by here today. You know, none of this is smooth sailing, transitioning from a 9 to 5 quitting your job, starting a passion-based business, even traveling, relocating, starting a new life like here in LA. I have definitely faced challenge after challenge after challenge. However, my attitude towards a challenge is that it's an opportunity for growth, and I'm not scared of them. I'm going to welcome them, because every single time I overcome a challenge, I become a different person. I elevate myself again to a new level of myself, and I shock myself at the things that I am capable of actually achieving. So that is my message to you today, girls. Oh, hey, Kim, thanks for joining. If you are just jumping on live at the end and you do have a spare like 40 minutes at any point throughout your day, I just shared my whole story as to how I went from zero to living this dream in LA, because it's really important that everybody knows that like lack of money or lack of time or whatever is not a viable excuse for not making your dreams happen, girls, because I had no money and still made it happen. And for some of you, you know, you've definitely got one or the other. You've either got loads of time and no money, or you've got loads of money and no time, one or the other. So it's up to you which one you want to like use right now to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. So I chose to invest all of my money and save time, girls, like into a coach to make this happen for me really, really quickly. And I'll continue to do that. I'll continue to grow and learn off everybody, because now look where I am. Like, it's a far cry from where I was just under 2 years ago, which was in a really shitty, low place, girls. And right now, what life looks like and feels like for me right now, maybe you can tell as I show up on these videos and share this with you girls, but life feels, for the first time in a very long time, thank you, Zoe, life feels for the first time amazing. It feels like magical. I feel like I'm so in alignment. I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. I feel like the vibes and the energy here in LA are just exactly, it's definitely my place. It's definitely full of people who are on my vibe, who understand life, how I live it. It's definitely full of high risk people who are willing to just throw themselves at something and keep going and take massive risks for their dream. And I absolutely love that, because it inspires me as well. But not only that, girls, but I've completely gone from being living a life that was not my dream, living a life that was so lonely. Even though I had people around me in Spain, I was so lonely because they were not on my level in terms of what I wanted to achieve for myself. So even though I was around nice people in Spain, like, I felt lonely inside. So now, to get myself to this point where I have created like my own little perfect dream right now that I am just building on day by day by day, it feels good, girls. It feels good to have got myself to a place where I make decisions for myself and I'm creating my dream life for me. Like, I'm prioritizing me for the first time in like my whole life. I had spent so much energy, given all my energy freely to other people, supporting everybody else's vision, everybody else's dream, sacrificing my own dreams. And it feels good to have finally got myself to that place where I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, to prioritize me and to actually fearlessly and courageously, and I will like say that because it takes a lot of courage to have done some of the things that I've done over here. But I'm so happy to be like on the other side of this now, and to see everything come to life, and to see everything that was once on my vision board now be my reality. And now these post-it notes here are like my new vision going forwards, girls. And that's the amazing thing about like reaching for your dreams. Hey Bethan, thanks for joining. Is that, you know, I ticked everything off my last vision board. I ticked it all off, and then I got here and I was like, oh wow, I just achieved everything that I wanted to within like just under 2 years, as well as going through a whole lot of shit as well. Like, okay, time to like go back to the drawing board, set some new goals, and gain clarity on what comes next for me. And this is what's the most exciting part, girls, is now I consciously create my life. I'm consciously creating my future. And this is why it feels so good, because I'm creating it from a place of like what lights me up, what feels good, living my dream. And yeah, this is the position and the place that I want to help take you to as well. And so that is why I do what I do. That is how this business grew. That is how this tribe grew, was just through my desire to inspire and empower women and share this message with each of you gorgeous girls. So for anyone who is new to the group, welcome, welcome, welcome. I can't wait to get to know each of you personally. So I will reach out to you to get to know you soon. And for anybody else who's been paying attention to this video and made it to the end, of course, I want to remind you that I do still have on the 3 months free coaching offer, right? So how this works, girls, is you invest into a 3-month coaching package with me and you will receive 3 months completely free. So you get my exclusive one-to-one support over the space of 6 months, and together we create and launch your dream life and passion-based business, right? So you have exclusive access to me to, for me to teach you everything that I did, from spirituality and rituals, mindset, like my productivity hacks, what I do, how I build relationships with people, how I made this a really successful business, overcoming limiting beliefs, self-doubts, fears. Any challenges that you're going to face, I'm going to be there for you to lean on 100% to help make this transition as smooth as possible for you. And I know, girls, just how incredibly life-changing that is to have somebody to lean on, because like I say, I have my own coach in place and my own amazing support network, and none of this would be possible without me first having that in place, right? Because we can get so far on our own, and we can do a good job of getting places on our own, but to speed up your acceleration, to speed up transformation, and to really get yourself living your dream ASAP and stop wasting time, you really want to align yourself with somebody who is already living it, because that is the quickest way that you're going to see results, and that is the quickest way that a lot of things are going to change for you. So if you are interested in speaking more with me about this, girls, the link is above the video. There's only 2 spots left for this, and then I'm not taking on any more one-to-one clients this year because I have loads more amazing things to plan and to work on, hence all of these post-it notes right here. I'm super excited about the things that I have coming up, the people who I'm aligning with. I have a workshop with Jay Shetty on the weekend, which, oh my gosh, so excited for that. I also have some teachings with Marianne Williamson. She's going to be in town in LA providing some teachings on A Course in Miracles, so I'm going to be going to that as well. So my intention, as always, girls, is to continue to grow and develop myself, align myself, position myself amongst the best, because I want to not only be the best version of myself and continually expand on my dream and my goals, but it is my passion, I believe it is my purpose to really inspire and empower you and teach you to be able to do the same. So if any of this is resonating with you, if you can resonate with any of my journey or anything like that, then the link is above this video. I would love to connect with you. You can book in a free call and we can just chat things through. We can see if this is the right move for you, which it no doubt is, girls. It no doubt is, because if you are here in this group, then I already know that you desire to be, do, and have so much more than the life that you are currently living, because these are my core values. And so I know that I attract girls who resonate with me on this level as well. And I want to help you. I want to help you go from where you are to where you want to be. But in order for me to best help you, you have to be ready to take action. And by taking action, that means reaching out, booking in a call by clicking at the link above, and of course, signing up and committing and making that decision for yourself that the next 6 months of your life are going to be the best 6 months of your life, and that you're going to claim your power back, that you're going to start living for yourself, living for your dream, and yeah, just going for it. Like, imagine how different your life could be 6 months from now. So girls, the link is above this video. I really do hope you enjoyed me sharing my story. I would love to know any of your takeaways in the comments box below. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I look forward to speaking to some of you real soon.